Good morning, homies. It is August 5th. We dove in to Galatians today. Galatians 1, 2, and 3. The letter by Paul to the Galatian church, which, when I thought of the Galatian church, I just thought of maybe, a certain people group, like an ethnicity, right? I found out it was more of a region. In fact, it was even a region that quite possibly could have expanded through like most of Rome and the Romans, right? So the Romans were a part of Galatia, and they were considered Galatians if they were of that ethnicity. Confusing. That's what I saw it as. So he was sending this letter to the Galatian church, which was probably a lot of churches in a certain region. Anyways, chapter 1 kind of just sets the scene of who Paul is, his calling, as well as his people in Jerusalem that he knew from his ministry. And the end of chapter 1 is cool. It's like the people he was talking to in Jerusalem, he was unknown by their faces in the church of Judea, which were in Christ, but they were hearing only that he was formerly persecuted us, meaning the Judeans, right? But now preaches the faith which he once tried to destroy. And then they glorified God in him. My bad, I'm burping. But yeah, that's cool. Like, they knew him only by his story, right? That he once persecuted them, but now preaches the faith that he tried to destroy. And they glorified God in him. That's awesome. This is awesome. Getting into chapter 2, we see how he defends the gospel. He calls it the one true gospel. There is only one true gospel. That's the gospel of Jesus Christ. Verse 6, he makes a really strong point on how God shows no personal favoritism to no man or people or, and then later in chapter 3, we'll see female and male or Greek or Jew, black or white, right? Black or white was just what I said, but that didn't say it in the Bible. But like, God shows no partiality to anybody, and as Christians, we likewise should show no partiality as well. We should find no difference in all of us and in each of us. We are indifferent, right? And we're all open to the gospel. We are all given the opportunity to be a part of the gospel, to be Christians, right? To have faith. And it's not by how you follow the Torah and the law, right? Faith is how you are justified. Justification is solely by faith. That is a massive theme in Galatians, is justification by faith, not by works. In fact, that's kind of why he wrote the letter, was because the Galatians, or the people of Galatia, were thinking and saying to these Gentiles that they have to be circumcised to be a part of the gospel, to be a part of the faith, right? Whereas Paul is saying, no, like, justification is by faith. It's not by how you are obedient to the law. The law was more of like an old covenant thing. This is the new covenant, where Christ is how we are justified, right? So, love that. And then into chapter 3, really starts ramping up that theme. Really describes the purpose of the law as well, in that it was given to the Israelites to align them, to kind of keep them in proper standing and understanding, and to mold their hearts into hearts of obedience, so that when Christ came, they would be faithful, right? So it was really to align them, to prepare them for the seed, Christ, right? Is what we see in verse 19. And at the end there, this is what I was talking about. I'm gonna just read it off. The title is Sons and Heirs, and this is verses 26 through 29. For you are all sons of God through faith in Christ Jesus. For as many of you as were baptized into Christ have put on Christ. There is neither Jew nor Greek, there is neither slave nor free, neither male nor female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus. We are all one. And I even put on the side note, I just said no black or white, right? Like, racism is huge nowadays. Like, whereas before it might have been male or female, or Jew or Greek, right? Now it's like black or white. there is no difference to us. We are to put on a heart of indifference with these people, for we are all one in Christ Jesus. Verse 29, and if you are Christ, then you are Abraham's seed and heirs according to that promise. That's it, man. We are all sons and heirs. That's powerful right there. That's Galatians 1, 2, and 3. I'm excited to get to 4, 5, and 6, I think is the rest. So, yeah. Peace out.